bring on the host, Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs.
Hi everyone, I'm Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs, and you are listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio, a rock and roll show all about pets, people, and pop culture. I'm live from Las Vegas, and today I'm talking about cottages, not cages, the importance of service dogs for kids going to school, and fundraising through the holiday season. So stay right there.
Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.
Welcome to the show, everyone. I'm so glad you're here today. It's, we are now in the holiday season officially. Well, that's what I'm saying is the holiday season officially. Because I love this time of year. Oh my gosh, I love to decorate. I love it when it gets a bit cooler because it reminds me of being back home in England, although not quite as cool. But it's an exciting time of year. And it's always a busy time of year for us, isn't it, Jim?
Yeah, it seems like we start doing stuff and then I get busy and I get extra work and then...
Yeah, it just gets a little bit ridiculous the
crazy.
last quarter of the year. I don't know, it's just the way things go for us. And Jim is my husband, he's my co-host. Jim's a musician, professional musician. So yeah, it's definitely a time of year where people want more entertainment. I think people just need more entertainment, period, throughout the year.
They're not going to find much in Las Vegas this year.
No, this year we've had almost 20 shows close. And I'm talking some of the big shows as well. Close, goodbye, and not hearing much about anything new coming in. And that's a worry. That is a worry in Las Vegas. It's unlike anything we've seen before. It's been how long have we lived here? I never really know.
About 19, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
We've been here about 19 years.
You have.
That's a long time. But we've never seen a year like this ever in entertainment. So.
Well, they're talking about it all over the entertainment world now because Las Vegas has just had a litany of shows. The top shows all the way down to, some of the local shows. The show I did for almost 6 years are just gone. Shows for no apparent reason are just being closed out. So
we definitely enjoy this time of year because we do see a bump in gigs coming through. So what else was I going to say? Holiday season. Yeah, love it. And that means it's pumpkin spice latte time. And
I thought you didn't like that one.
It's not, I don't know. It tasted weird this year. It tasted really, really strange. They have a new drink. It's a cold drink. It's a cold brew coffee for the season. And it's got nutmeg in it, which I love nutmeg, but I don't know how well it will go down.
And you always order your usual.
I do.
No matter what there is. What do you get? Oh, my usual.
Go on, what is it?
They know what. You go in there, they go, you want Sam's usual? Yeah.
The stuff is so nice at that Starbucks. And, they're all animal lovers, Jim, in a big way.
I didn't know they all were.
Oh, all of them. I put up a flyer yesterday for a show that I've partnered with Murray Sawchuk, celebrity magician, friend of ours, and they let me put the poster up. But they do a lot of charitable work, in particular for animal charities. They get paid for their charitable work.
Who does?
The Starbucks employees.
You mean when they go out and do charities off the clock?
Yeah.
That's good. They're a great company to work for. Nobody says anything bad about them.
No, they don't. I sat there. I was sat in there having a drink, and they were doing like an orientation for new employees, and the benefits were crazy. I mean, really good. So no wonder they stick with the company. But they are animal lovers, and I'm going to talk to the manager sometime in the coming days about hosting a donation drive collection box, which is the next fundraising effort that we're doing with Rocking for Rescues. We've actually got six things going on right now that a lot of them overlap, and we're working towards some things that are happening in the first quarter of next year, so we're ahead of the game. But there's one particular thing we're doing, and Rocking for Rescues, I'm on the board of Rocking for Rescues. It was founded by my friend Pam Webb. And what we do is through our fundraising efforts and really fabulous rock and roll events that we put together, we raise money to take the financial pressure off other rescues, because many of them don't have the time to fundraise, or sometimes don't really know how to fundraise, and they're very busy helping animals come in and, you know, get into new homes. So we do these amazing events. If we do one of our big ones like the 80s hairball, Oh, I can't hear myself. What did you do just then, Jim?
Hit a button.
He's trying to mute me already. I'm 5 minutes into the show and I'm getting muted. That's not wrong. It's not right. I mean, that's not right.
You only got one syllable muted, and then you're back.
Yeah, thank you. So we did these really fantastic. The big events are worth coming into Vegas for. Trust me on that. If you're planning on going to Vegas for a little trip, see if it coincides with one of our events or plan it around one of our events. But the 80s Hairball is super popular, and we love a theme, and everybody loves to dress up, and we always have live music and amazing raffle and auction, and it's always rock and roll. So that's we had the big ones, and now we had the smaller ones. So this particular one that we just launched is the holiday donation drive, and we're asking community partners, so that can be anyone from a business to a religious establishment to a community center. We're asking people or an employee room, we're asking them to host a box and encouraging them to tell their customers or their staff, to bring a donation. And it can be food, treats, dog beds. It can be travel crates. It can be gift cards from Petco or PetSmart. It can be cash. It can be anything, because we know all those things will help a rescue. So this is going to run till December 16th. Well, it started off last year with 8 boxes. I think we're up to 30 right now, because it keeps growing. And Pam and I just about lost the will to live the other night, wrapping these giant boxes, putting the flyer on the front with the information and the bows, and making them look fabulous in order to deliver them to these various host locations. And as much as we would love to put a cap on it, because it's a lot of work, we realize that the opportunity to partner with some people that we've never met before and expose them to what we do and how we help other rescues is valuable, and it helps us build relationships. So who knows? I have a feeling it's going to turn into 50 boxes around the city, which would be incredible. And then what we do is we collect them on December 16th. So we'd like some help with that. And then we do the sorting. And we start sorting it out. And there are certain rescues that we know need certain things. And it could be that one rescue they have a facility, which many of them don't have a facility, but they are in desperate need of blankets and carriers and those kind of things. So we will look at what their needs are. If you are a rescue in Las Vegas, in the Vegas Valley, you can contact us. Just make sure you're a 501c3. You can contact us, get yourself on the list, and we plan on being able to help as many rescues as we possibly can. And I think to date we've helped 14 of them, and not just in Vegas, because we will help any rescue that needs help, and we've helped some individual cases. And I think what Pam and I will do is, I think we'll probably do a Facebook Live on the Rocking for Rescues page on Facebook, and we'll explain to everybody exactly what we do and who we've helped.
You two are becoming Facebook celebrities.
Well, it's because
it's
we're
like
ridiculous.
Like Lucy and Ethel.
It is
Thelma and Louise.
It is a little bit. Isn't it? We are ridiculous, but it's animal rescue can be very, very sad at times. So whenever you can make it lighthearted and fun, we certainly try and do that. We did that last week on our photo fundraiser. Pam and I threw ourselves down on the floor in front of the backdrop, and we did a Facebook Live yesterday and pretended we were in the forest, because that's what our backdrop was for fall and autumn, and we got quite a bit of attention. But we'll do anything to raise money for animals, pretty much anyway. So if you are a local business for this particular charity drive, then get hold of us on the Rocking for Rescues page, or email us through the website, which is rockingforrescues.org, and it's rocking4rescues.org. So that's one of the things we've got going on. The other one, and these are all ideas. I mean, if you're an individual that wants to raise money, or a rescue yourself, or a company that says, let's do something charitable, this is a very easy one to do. It's super easy. You get your big packing boxes, you wrap them in gift wrap, put a lovely bow on it and a flyer on the front so they know what's going on, and you can help that way. It's a very simple way. Another way we are helping is Yankee candles. Who doesn't love it? Even you love a Yankee candle, Jim.
I like a candle that lasts a long time, that has a smell that has something to do with pine trees.
I know.
Toilet
cleaner.
Like it to last a long time, but I don't like a candle when it melts and it melts a hole in the center, and the wax doesn't evenly get heated up and liquefied from the top down.
Let me tell you about
candle
that
right now that is very bothersome.
Let me tell you about that. First of all, he loves the smell of toilet cleaner because most of them smell like pine.
No, I like
They do.
spruce, pine.
Toilet cleaner.
No, I like the smell of the forest.
Pine salt.
Whatever.
Anyway,
You
well,
like
let me
the
tell you about
smell of-
candles. Let me tell you about
You
candles.
like a candle that smells like food.
If you, I do. I love a. Yeah, I do. If you if you have a candle that just bores a hole all the way down, it's your fault.
No, it isn't.
Shall I
Because
tell
I
you why?
left the candle lit for hours.
Was it in a jar? Was it
Hours.
in a jar? What are you shouting
In
for?
a jar.
Was it in a jar?
Because you don't worry. I know. Oh, this, that, and the other. I know. A bad candle's a bad candle. It's not the person that lights it that's the problem.
Yeah, you have to burn it long enough so the whole top of it melts all the way to the outsides. Yeah.
Not having belief.
And if it's just a candle by itself, it's called rolling a candle. Did you know this? Oh, I'm full of tips. I'm telling you.
You don't roll a candle
You
in
do
a jar.
what you do, not in a jar you can't, but what you do is if it's an actual candle not in a jar, you have to let it burn to the edges, and then what you do is you roll the edges in, and as you roll it in and hug it, the melted wax goes higher up the wick, and your candles will last longer. Didn't know that, did you? Or did you? Did you know that?
I know it.
Oh, so here's what we're doing with Yankee Candles. Anyone that orders under Rocking for Rescue, so you can just go to our website. The link is on there. It's really easy. We have a group number. Usually if you click the link, it will populate the group number. And you shop away through that link. And 40% of what you purchase is donated back to us. That's 40%, 40. That is unheard of. So since people do buy candles at the time of year and they like a good candle, if you would love to shop with us, we would be very appreciative of that. So that's our second fundraiser. The next one, I partnered with my friend Murray Sawchuk, as I mentioned earlier. He's a celebrity magician. You will have seen him on America's Got Talent. He made a train disappear. Remember that? He's made cars disappear, made people disappear. He's a big
No comment.
He's a big YouTube star. He does these really, really cool videos on there. And a lot of them like prank magic, street magic, very, very cool. You will have seen him on Masters of Illusion. I'm sure he's been on Masters of Illusion. I think that's a CW. You'll have seen him on Home and Family. He's everywhere. Anyway, he's a good friend of ours. And he each year does a charity event for animal rescue, which we love. And he's taking his show over to the Starbright Theatre over in Summerlin in Vegas on December 21st. And he's going to do this fabulous magic show. Jim is going to stage manage for him that day. Pam and I are going to run.
Did we decide that already, or
I think so, yeah.
did you ask already?
Oh, I did. I said I offered you up to stage manage that day. No, you're good. You're good. Pam and I are going to run the raffle, an auction, and we're probably going to have a big basket of toys and collars and those kind of things. You can throw a donation in and grab something out before you go and see the show itself. Tickets are only $20. It is going to sell out. Typically, for Vegas, people leave it till the last minute. I recommend you do not because those tickets are really, really going quickly. And it's a little thing to do at that time of year. So he's benefiting Friends for Life, Humane Society. I think that's the correct way to say it. And he's benefiting Rocking for Rescues. Now, this organization up in Pahrump, over the hump, which is over the hill, is a fantastic facility where they actually save people and save animals. And they've taken people off the streets and really help them in their lives, improve their lives. And part of coming off the street and helping them is that they get to live and work at the rescue. And so I think it's a wonderful, wonderful organization. So we're thrilled to be partnered with Murray on that. What else do we have going on? Oh my gosh, this is fun too. You don't have to be in Vegas for this one.
Where do you have to be?
You have to be in the States, though, I think. We're doing... Stacey is Pam's girl. That's her dog. Yeah, she's beautiful, fluffy white girl. Well, it's going to be her 9th birthday. And so she has a $200 Visa gift card giveaway fundraiser that she's doing. And all you have to do is go to rockingforrescues.org and make a $10 donation. And for every $10 donation that you make, you get an entry in to win the $200 shopping spree gift card. It's just a Visa card. It's fantastic. So you can use it however you want. And we'll be drawing out a name on the 10th. So that's coming up. So that's another fundraiser. So as you can see, we've got a lot going on, but this is a time of year when so many rescues are struggling. They're struggling because, of course, your money is going to other things, gifts and, traveling for maybe Thanksgiving or Christmas or Hanukkah. There's a lot going on. So we do see a big decline in donations. And so this is how we're doing our bit for the animals for the last part of the year. So, and Jim, you'll be helping us with those big boxes. Once they're full, I can't lift them.
What date is that?
It's the 16th. I'm sure it's going to spill over into another day. We're going to have so many boxes.
I might have a gig on that date.
Oh, that's always Jim's ammo. Oh, I think I have a gig that day. It doesn't always work. But yeah, we've got lots going on. And of course, I'm going to post them on my page, Vegas Rock Dog Radio on Facebook. Now, talking about Facebook and other ways that you can find me on the internet, you can visit our website, vegasrockdogradio.com, and that's the hub for the show. You'll also find us on Periscope, as I say, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And if you want to pick up some rock and roll clothing for you and your pet, especially now the holidays are coming up, that's vegasrockdog.com. And our blog is therockandrolldog.com. And we're on iTunes, and you're going to find us on iHeartRadio and pretty much any podcatcher app that you have. Just search Vegas Rock Dog or Vegas Rock Dog Radio, and you'll find us. So since we're talking about connecting with people, I do have to say hello to Eldona and Flash. They're listening in today, Jim.
Where from?
Oh my gosh, Eldona, where do you live now? I've forgotten. I'm going to go on Facebook right now and see where you live. Hang on. That's funny.
Eldona, that sounds like a...
Isn't that a great name?
Sounds like... Yeah, I know, but it sounds like a classic car. Eldona.
It
what
does?
Do you have? I have a 1963 Eldona.
Eldona? She is in Pauls Valley, Oklahoma. Oh, gosh. Remember when we drove through Oklahoma to move here?
When the wind went whipping through the plain and we had ice all over the U-Haul.
But we didn't know. We couldn't understand why the traffic was all over the place. And it was almost like freezing rain, wasn't it? Once it hit the vehicle, we had like 2 inches of ice coated on the actual moving truck. Then I got panicked. Then I was so tired when we got to Oklahoma. I just said, I'm just going to live here. I'm too tired to go on. I was very dramatic. I said, I can't. Let's just live here.
It was nice, except we got the cheap hotel for $25 and got woken up at 5 a.m. by B-52 and B-1 bombers taking off because we didn't know we were at an Air Force base.
The roof was almost shaking off that hotel. And I was so tired. You're so tired you want to cry. And I was just like, I just want to sleep. It was dreadful. So, hello, Eldona. It's been a long time since I've seen you and Flash there. I'm so glad you're listening in. This is great. So let me know when you're next coming back to Vegas because, we'll hang out. Oh, my gosh. Well, Jim, I think we need to take a quick break on that ridiculous story. We're going to listen to some words from our sponsors. You're listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio with me, Sam, your host, the queen of rock and roll dogs.
Here we go.
Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.
At Carl's Jr., not only do we make you happy with our delicious charbroil burgers, but we also make your dogs happy. When you come through our drive-thru with your furry friend, we'll offer your dog a treat. If not, always ask for one. We love to see their smiling faces. Our website, carlsjroflasvegas.com, has a treat for its customers too, with free coupons anytime, so be sure to visit us regularly. Carl's Jr. is a proud and active supporter of dog adoption in our community. You can find us at Carl's Jr. of Las Vegas or on Twitter at Carl's Jr. of Vegas.
Welcome to Barking Dogs Self-Wash and Grooming, your one-stop shop for all of your pet's needs. We offer premium natural pet foods, full-service grooming, and an on-site bakery and boutique. You can choose to self-wash your dog or schedule a luxury pampering with our professional groomers.
Our new Cool Cat section offers feline food, toys, bedding, and litter, while the adventurous dog department has everything you need for your outdoor activities. Cody's Healing Garden is a special place featuring flower, aromatherapy, and herbal remedies for pets. Ask us about Karma Connection, our program supporting animal rescue. Find us at barkingdogslv.com and look for us on Facebook and Twitter. We look forward to seeing you at Barking Dogs Self-Wash and Grooming.
Let's bring on the host, Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs.
You're listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio with me, Sam, your host, the queen of rock and roll dogs. And this is what I want to talk about. Jim, I've got some echo going on that's making me crazy in my headphones.
Okay.
Can you take that down for me a little bit?
Yep.
Who wants to hear themselves echoing? You don't. So let's talk about Luvable Dog Rescue. And that's in Oregon. And I came across this story, and it's a fantastic location. Can you turn that down for me a little bit? Thank you. Yay! I'm very particular about my sound, you know. I'm very... I'm like one of those rock stars that says you can only have... What's the colour M&Ms they want in the bowl? Green only? I'm a little bit like that, yeah. That's better. Much better. Thank you. I want to talk about Luvable Dog Rescue in Oregon. We've never been to Oregon, have we, Jim? We've been to a lot of states.
I've been to Portland. You haven't.
No, I've not been. And as you know...
It's very nice there.
Is it?
I think they pay a lot in taxes, though.
Do they? Is it very?
So.
Is it very green? I love anyone.
Parts of it are.
Green
it's
lush.
Green, and then it's desert, and then it has seaside. It has all three.
Really?
All three.
I didn't know that. Maybe we need to put that on a bucket list. Somewhere new to go.
You can go to Washington, which is green, mountains, and desert as well. They both have the same thing.
Really?
One's right next to the other.
Why have you never taken me there, Jim?
I don't know. I don't have an answer for that.
We need somewhere new to go, though, because we have covered a lot of the states, haven't we? So that would be nice to take a trip out there. And if we did, this is where we would go. We would go to the Luvable Dog Rescue in Oregon. Now, as you know, most shelters, they do feel like a prison, and they don't seem like happy places, because sometimes the way they're designed, or sometimes the fact that they were used from an existing building and not built for the purpose of animal rescue. And I hear it all the time. People say, oh, it's so depressing. I don't want to go down to the shelter. We had the same when Dewey was open, didn't we, Jim? That was horrible, that place.
That was when we first started to look for a dog.
Oh, it was horrible. I felt like, it felt like prisoner cell block H. It was very stressful to go down there. It was very upsetting. Anyway, so because they do look like prisons, and you not often do you see one that's really, really fabulous. Now, my shelter back in England, in my hometown, is phenomenal. It is so gorgeous. It is so happy there. It's beautifully built. It is really amazing. But I don't see many like that. So anyway, I do hear this all the time, and people say, oh, it just doesn't feel like a happy place. And it puts people off from actually going down there and adopting. And that's a big issue. And if you feel that you're working in a facility that doesn't offer this happy outlook, it's not welcoming, it's not bright, it's not colorful, then really think about changing that, because it does deter people from coming down to the shelter. And we want to get as many people in these shelters as possible to adopt these animals out. And so it is definitely off-putting, and we want to change that. But there is a place in Oregon, and it's a rescue, or you wouldn't even use the word shelter, that is much more like a resort. And if you're a pit bull who happens to find your way to this shelter, then you happen to be one of the lucky ones, because, well, one, it's called the Luvable Dog Rescue, which is a beautiful name. Tells you the right thing, it tells you what they're about straight away. And for the dogs who arrive at the rescue, they have a total of 55 acres of land.
What?
What's that equivalent to, Jim? So I can get an idea of that.
Your whole master plan development.
Oh, okay, our whole neighborhood.
Where there's 200 homes.
Amazing. And so it's got a forest, it's got meadows, hiking trails, and a small country road for these animals to enjoy. And as they get to relax in this beautiful area and decompress from the situations that they come from, and it can take a long time. We know from our own experience with Mr. Twix. It took a year until that dog truly would sleep without one eye open and one ear open and jumping up every second. And so being in the right environment, you'll see that those changes happen a little bit quicker, because they do get to feel at home. And the reason why they get to truly feel at home is that they get their own cottage. Jim, their own cottage.
Where do you go?
You don't go. It's a rescue.
Oh.
No, you don't get to stay there, although that's something they may do in the future. A little bit like best friends when they have chalets and you can go and stay for the weekend and you work with the animals. That would be a great next step for them if they...
Chalet, that word makes me feel like eating breakfast.
It does. But they get their own private cottage. And so the cottages have an indoor and an outdoor space to call home while they wait for a forever home. And the dogs are given time to socialize as well with the other dogs, but they also get time by themselves, which is important because if they've come from a really, really bad situation, then they end up being in this comfortable cottage with people that care for them, and they get to relax. Here's the thing. Animals don't know immediately that they've been rescued. All they know is that, oh, I'm in a different place. I'm in a completely different place. And it takes a little bit of time to them to realize it's safe here. These people are nice. And that's when you start seeing these wonderful changes happen. What were you going to say there, Jim?
I was just thinking about Mr. Twix. He still thought he lived in the wild for quite a while.
Oh, yeah. He thought he was still in the wild. Well, he's still a little wild. He's still a little bit wild. But we love his wildness. We do.
2 years after you found him, and he's still wild.
Well, he's only a baby, though. I mean, he's got so much energy. He's ridiculous. He is funny, though. He makes us laugh every day. He's got lots and lots of energy, and he's a happy boy. He's a really happy boy. Now, these cottages are simply adorable. If you've watched any of these shows, you know, the tiny homes shows, it's like one of those. And they've got artwork, they've got furniture. I just think it's amazing. And then they have these beautiful views of the woods. Now, the executive director of this very, very unique rescue is Liesl Wildhart. And she was always a lover of Pitbulls. And this is a reference I don't understand, but you'll probably understand him. Her favorite dog on TV was Petey from Our Gang. Do you know that show?
Little Rascals.
Oh, you called it...
You know Petey.
Oh, I know Little Rascals. Was it called that?
The Target dog.
What did you call it here?
Little Rascals, Our Gang. It had 2 names.
Oh, it did? Why did it have 2 names?
It had different names.
Huh. Yeah, well, I know.
why.
Yeah, I definitely know it as Little Rascals, yeah.
Petey was the Target dog.
Oh, I see. So she fell in love with the breed from the show, and she started fostering pit bulls, and then it turned into an absolute full-time job. And she says she knew she wanted the dogs to have a special experience, so she started to build what can only be described as a magical place for pups. And so this magical place is making a real difference. And these dogs are coming from traumatized. They're coming in traumatized from horrible situations. And she says they very quickly learn that this is a safe place. And as we all know, dogs respond very well to a safe place that's positive and happy with lots of love and attention. And they've recently built a Pitbull Palace, and that's a large building for the bigger dogs. So the smaller dogs will in their little cottages, and then they go into the other place for the bigger dogs. And so Liesl says she's not stopping there. She wants to open a maternity ward for pit bulls and their puppies. And that's a demographic of animals, of dogs, that has a very high likelihood of being euthanized when pit bulls come in with puppies. It's never a good situation. So she realizes that the euthanization of pregnant dogs is so high. And I shouldn't say euthanization because these are healthy dogs. These are not, dogs that you can do nothing for. And that's what euthanasia truly is. So we need another word. I'd like to say just killing, because that's what it is. It's not euthanization at all when they're healthy. And they're adoptable. And so she recognizes that. And their motto is very good. It's place, pack, and purpose. Place meaning a special place. Pack meaning an experience that with a sense of belonging after they've lost maybe their human or other animals that they were with, so they get to belong. And purpose, which is to provide companionship and to expect love and companionship from their humans in return. So to be trusting through the help they give them. Now, their website is Luvable, dogrescue.org. Here's the interesting thing. Can you check this for me, Jim? I'm reading the rescue's name as Luvable, Luv. but it looks like the website is spelt traditionally, luvabledogrescue.org. If you could check that for me, that would be great. I want to make sure I give out the correct website. You can, of course, find them on Facebook. And I'm going to post this article. You'll see that dog in front of that cottage, and you're going to go, wow, this is how it should be. This is how it should be. I think if you start thinking out of the box, and you'll get...
Is it in Eugene, Oregon?
It's in Oregon, yeah.
It's Luvable, Luvable.
Dogrescue.org.
Luvable, dogrescue.org.
Okay, so it's traditional spelling. No, not traditional spelling.
Non-traditional.
Non-traditional. LUV.
Is that how you spell that in English?
Oh,
language?
my goodness.
Your English
Lovable Dog Rescue.
Remember last show you couldn't speak?
I couldn't
now
speak.
you can't spell.
I said to Jim we should put a blooper roll together. And he said, no, just play last week's show because it was just a blooper reel all the way through from the beginning.
You blooped the whole show.
I did.
And now you can't spell this week.
I know. Do you know what I did find?
You need breakfast.
I do. I actually need some.
You don't wake up and hydrate, and you don't wake up and have breakfast.
I have
I'm sorry,
I have-
listeners. You have to learn this about...
I have water right here.
And you didn't have any of it yet. You had like a thimble. Are you a reptile?
I am a I feel like one. I feel dehydrated and scaly. You know when you listen to radio or a podcast, you hear weird noises from your mouth? It's because you're dehydrated. So if you hear it, you know I didn't have a drink. Anyway, that is luvabledogrescue.org. Not spelled in the traditional way. It is LUVABLE, dogrescue.org. What a great organization. I was really excited to come across that. It just made me really happy. And it looks like they do really good pet photography as well to get them adopted, and which is another way that people can visualize the dog in their home instead of in some, like I say, some prison of a shelter with the leash hooked up onto a hook. There's not even a human being in there, or they're not holding them. And it just looks dreadful. And first impressions count for everything. And I will say this about the Nevada SPCA here in town. Why are you looking at me like that?
I don't know. I thought you were going to go off on another misspelling or a misspeaking.
Nevada SPCA, they always have pictures of the animals in the arms of the volunteers and the staff. So, and that's really, it makes a difference. It makes a difference. So there you go. So that's that wonderful, lovable dog rescue. He keeps looking at me now, and now I'm going to start doing bloopers.
Go on then.
Okay, so my next story. It's actually a short one. There's a movie coming out called Petfooled, and the website is petfooled.com. And I think it's a documentary. The documentary goes into the inner workings of the pet food industry, what drives it, and how it influences how we purchase from them. And it covers what's actually in commercial pet foods. Put it this way, you're going to be horrified. It tells you what's in commercial pet foods. It's essentially what Dr. Karen Becker said. She's in the video, in the movie. She says they've convinced a generation to buy pet food. And what she means by that is to not look at other ways of feeding your pets. They convince you this is the only way that you feed your pets, which is traditionally with kibble, yeah? And it's traditionally with over-processed food, and it's traditionally with not so good ingredients. And they've convinced you, because we know marketing can really convince you one way or the other that, oh, this is a great product, the packaging's beautiful, there are happy dogs on the front, happy cats on the front. It's not the case. It's absolutely not the case. And they're not really telling. What they're doing is they convince you to buy what they're selling. They're not convincing you what's good for your pet. There's a big difference there. They're doing it through marketing, and I don't think there's a lot of truth in marketing, I think, for animal products, if I'm correct. So you are correct. They can be very loose with all of that. And basically what this documentary is doing is blowing the lid off the industry. They're educating you in ways of how they produce the food and how they get you to buy it, what's in it. And really, this is about profit over the health of your pets. And we see that in many areas of life, profit over your well-being of you or your pets. So visit the site, see if it's playing in your area, and definitely watch the trailer. You'll see Dr. Karen Becker on there, and she is a leading holistic veterinarian. She is putting herself in a position that I'm sure is not comfortable at all. I am sure she gets attacked from all angles. I am sure of it. But sometimes when people feel threatened that they won't be able to make the money that they want to make through their product, and someone says, this is not good for our pets, then they'll vilify that person. They're crazy. I can't believe they're saying this, So you'll find it very, very eye-opening. And I'm going to check to see if it's in our city. If not, I hope they put it online, for people to watch, because it's important. And I'm seeing a very big shift in nutrition for pets, in not just in nutrition as in what's available, because now we've got a lot more options, but we're also seeing a shift in what pet parents know about nutrition. It used to be, I buy my kibble from this big box retailer, blah 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 blah, and they thought that they were their only choices. So I always say to people, first of all, you probably should go to small retailers who carry the better products, the better quality products. They're starting to learn more about raw feeding. We had Kimberly Morris Gauthier on the show from Keep the Tail Wagging. And she is someone, she's not a nutritionist, although she does consult with the experts, Dr. Karen Becker being one, Rodney Habib being another. She essentially journaled through her blog her journey of putting her dogs on a raw diet and all the obstacles she jumped over and went through and solved and figured out. And along the way, she basically made all the mistakes that you won't have to make.
Well, most people are
easy.
led by the nose, by marketing.
Oh, yeah, marketing's amazing.
Media, and marketing is an amazing thing. And they could sell anything. I mean, most food commercially available for pets is garbage, and you have to learn.
Yeah,
you almost have to learn like you're at the local level about, okay, this company, do we know the people at this company? Do we know where this food is made? Do we know what the source of their products are?
Because it could be made in the USA, but the products could be sourced from, say, China. So they're not going to tell you that. They're not going to say, by the way, we get our stuff from China, but then we put it together here. So that's another reason to really look into it. But there are people, like I said, like Kimberly with her blog, that she's gone through the pain of figuring out raw feeding, and by you following her blog, you won't have to go through that. She's the one that's gone through the pain of it, but she's learned so much along the way. She's continually learning, and it's become this massive passion, and she does work alongside the experts in the field. So there's a big shift, and it's a really fantastic shift. I was at the vet a couple of weeks ago with Mr. Twix, and I was talking to the vet tech there. She said the same thing. She goes, oh no, we've got pet parents coming in asking about nutrition. I've heard this, I've read that. Can I add this in? I've heard this is good for my pet. So it's a really great move, but they're panicking in the commercial pet food industry. They are panicking. It's so much money. How much can you find out from me, Jim, online how much money is generated annually for just pet food, commercial pet food? It's got to be a lot. It's just got to be a lot. And it's hard because sometimes like I don't know, I'm in Target and they carry some terrible pet foods, and I just want to say to people, oh, by the way, they just had a recall on that pet food. You might not want to purchase it. And I've still seen people take the bag off the shelf and put it in their cart. One of the things you can do, if you want to learn a little bit more about pet food, is go to dogfoodadvisor.com. It's a great website. It is not funded by any pet food company. You'll be happy to hear. And you can go in there. You can look at your own food, see how they've analysed it. And they just do it by stars 1 to 5, really easy. And if you're looking for a new pet food, then you can go in there, and they've made it easy to sift through it and find a better food. But the big thing right now is to not feed your pet's kibble, because to get it that hard, it is processed. Yeah, typically at least 4 times. Over-processed, overheated, everything's kind of heated out of it, cooked out of it essentially, and the moisture content will be very, very low. So that's something to start, thinking about. And there are alternatives. You don't have to go full raw. If that's something you can't do, you could go partially raw. I mean, there are lots of things you can do instantly to just start changing their diet and improving it.
The $18 billion a year pet food industry.
There you go. So they don't want
$18 billion a year. And that was in 2010, that article was written.
Oh, goodness me. Why don't you put 2016 in with your search and see if that comes up with current one? But that's still a phenomenal amount of money, and it's huge, huge. They've got the money to put into the marketing. They've got the money to put into the packaging. They've got that, and we do shop with our eyes. We eat with our eyes too. So, and often they'll show you ingredients on the front of the bag, and you're like, oh, look, it's showing chicken, and it's showing this, it's showing that. And they go in there and it's chicken byproduct. And it's really low down. There's a lot of corn in there, which is terrible for your pets. So, and this all leads into why pets are not living longer, because actually it's getting shorter, and why they're getting cancer.
Are you ready for some numbers?
Oh, gosh. I'm going to watch my head get blown. You ready?
In 2015, sales within the U.S. market only.
Mm-hmm.
Food, $23 billion.
Oh, man.
Supplies and medicine, $14 billion.
Goodness.
Vet care, $15 billion.
Right.
Live animal purchases, $2 billion. Pet services and grooming and boarding, $5.5 billion.
Well, I thought that would be even higher for that. But
Estimated sales for 2016 are on track with all of those numbers. Almost right on the money.
Well, here's the thing.
And that came from
if you feed horrible food.
American Pet Products Association.
Okay. If you feed terrible food to your pets, you are going to spend more money in medications and veterinarian visits. It's as simple as that. It really is. What Kimberly found from Keep the Tail Wagging blog is that her dog, again, ear infections. She just said, I'm not going to put them on another round of antibiotics. I've got to get to the bottom of this, the cause of this, not just treating symptoms. And as a result of this is where it started. And as a result of that, her dogs are in better shape than they've ever been. So they're not getting these recurring ear infections. Their joints are great. You know, they're not struggling with arthritis. And it just shows you. And so clearly she won't be paying as many visits to the vet. You know, because food is the basis of all of it. It really, really is. But there's this great movement, and as I say, a lot of people sticking their necks out. And I'm glad that they are, and I'm glad to be able to share that with you on the radio. So, shall we do one more quick break, Mr. Jim?
We should get one in.
Go on then, let's do it.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture. Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.
How many minutes? We started at 10:15.
Pet Scene Magazine is dedicated to Las Vegas pets and the people who love them. It's a source of news and information for pet lovers, as well as offering valuable coupons and specials on pet products and services. Find them online at www.lvpetscene.com or look for them on Facebook.
Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.
Welcome back, everyone. I did hydrate. So there, Mr. Jim. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio. I'm glad you're here. My name is Sam. I'm the host of Vegas Rock Dog Radio. And you can find me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and Pinterest. And I'm just everywhere. Tumblr, LinkedIn. How do you say LinkedIn, Jim?
LinkedIn.
Ridiculous. Well, talking of ridiculous, this is a ridiculous situation. And
your other co-hosts aren't really participating much.
Oh,
today.
yeah. No, I have a total of 4 co-hosts, yeah. Jim, I've got Galaxy, I've got Mr. Twix and Thornton, and they're napping. You know what we say when they come in the studio? Showtime, and they go running in the studio. Isn't that cute? But they are napping, and that's a good thing. Did they get out for a walk this morning? Because I did not get up.
No, I worked all morning, but I'll get Galaxy out after the show. We'll get her nails done.
Yeah, she definitely needs. Oh gosh, her nails are ridiculously long. They grow so quickly that we have to have them. Sometimes we have them done every week, don't we, Jim? To try and get the quick to come back. But it's something we have to really be on top of. But I'm going to say that's part of their diet.
She's
a good
bear
diet.
Claws.
Yeah, they grow so quickly. But yeah, we'll take her up to the vet, not the vet, the groomers, to get those done. So this is a ridiculous situation, and it's a very annoying situation, and it's just, I don't see the point in this anyway. But there's a girl called Elena Fry, and she has a dog named Wonder. And she's part of a case that the U.S. Supreme Court is going to take up. And it's about a girl and a service dog and a school that barred her dog from the school. So this is her service dog. And the girl we're talking about is, I say, Elena Fry. And she was born with cerebral palsy. And as part of being able to function better and be more independent, her pediatrician suggested to her parents to get a service dog. Now, not all service dogs are free. There are some organizations that will provide you with a free dog, but you get on the list and it could be some time. But they decided they would fundraise for her because it was going to cost them $13,000 to get her a service dog. So family and friends went all out, and thank God they did. And they got to this dog, and she managed to, in 2009, travel to Ohio for very specialized training for 2 weeks with a new golden doodle pup named Wonder. What a lovely name. And this is where their life-changing situation became a nightmare, an absolute nightmare. So the Frys had talked to Elena's school, and she was still very, very young. I want to say she was about 6, I think. They talked to him about the dog, but when Elena brought Wonder to class with her, she was told the service dog was not allowed. I'm sure that's illegal. I'm sure, but let's continue on with this story. So school officials had refused to talk about the case, but their legal position is that under the Individuals with Disability Education Act, the district was already paying for an aide to help Elena physically in school, and that the dog was unnecessary. Now, there's a lot to that. Sometimes people don't want to always be seen being helped by a human being.
Really?
Yeah, no. If they can have a dog, they just feel more independent that way.
Yeah, because some people don't want somebody to have to hang on their arm.
Yeah, that's the thing.
To be seen with a walker.
And so they felt that the dog was unnecessary. Now, Elena's parents explained that the dog was not part of their daughter's educational plan. This dog is with her 24 hours a day. This is not just for school. And it was intended to help her perform more functions by herself and to help her grow stronger and more independent. And confidence is really important when you've got something like that. So having a service dog for Elena, they maintain, is akin to a service dog for a blind student, instead of requiring the student to navigate the school by holding onto the arm of a teacher. And actually, I picked up this article from NPR when I first saw this. I'm like, what's this about? Now, Wonder was trained to hit handicap buttons for her, to open and close doors, pick up items that she's dropped, and perhaps most importantly, to stabilize her so that she could make transfers from a chair to a walker, or from a walker to a toilet seat. And you know what? Sometimes you don't want a human helping you go to the bathroom, especially when you get older in school. It's the last thing you want. And so they said one of their whole goals is getting Wonder for her was that eventually, the more she was able to use Wonder and navigate her environment, that she would need the aid less and less. That's what her mum said, Stacey Fry. But early in the dispute and after mediation, the school agreed to a 30-day trial with Wonder. But Stacey, her mom, says the dog was not permitted to sit with her in class or to go with her to the lunchroom. I mean, I can't take it. Sometimes I can't take people.
Well, but don't they understand that once it's a service dog, you can't deny it access anywhere with someone?
Well, I think they were trying to sign the Education Act for Disabilities for Education Act. I don't think they were looking at the Disabilities Act for service dogs. I know. Yeah, this is why it's going where it's going, Jim. Because it looks like the school dug their heels in. So, yeah, they wouldn't let her take the dog, to school, and so into the lunchroom. And so they said that the Fry says the 30-day trial, in fact, was marked by one hostile act after another, and there was so much animosity. She said that Elena and Wonder were even required to demonstrate, this blows my mind, it makes me really angry, was to demonstrate a toilet transfer with adults from the school watching, an experience that Stacey Fry says was devastating and traumatic to her daughter. She had to show them. I can't even take it at times. I really, really can't. How humiliating. Oh my gosh. So anyway, after the 30-day trial, the school returned to its no dog policy. Although Wonder is a hypoallergenic breed, the school said, among other things, that 2 children and 1 teacher were allergic to dogs. Oh, goodness me. And that 1 child had a dog phobia because he had previously been attacked by a dog. How do they expect disabled people to get along in life?
The crybabies should have been told they can't be in school anymore.
Well, that's what we would do. The thing is, having cerebral palsy is much worse. Much, much worse when you don't have assistance. That is terrible. I feel so bad for them. So the Fries then homeschooled Elena and then transferred her to another school district where Wonder was welcomed with open arms. I mean, just welcomed. And he went to class with her until lunch, and he was in the staff section of the yearbook. I love this school already. And he had his own ID card, and he was in the class picture. And he says, Elena's mother, the relationship between dog and kid was integrated into the school seamlessly. So they understood the value and the need for this to happen. She said it was amazing. They were so accepting, and it was such a teaching tool for the other kids. And it absolutely is. Because you know what? It's another way that kids can look at someone with a disability and kind of lessen their fears or their judgment because the dog is there and makes them more accepting.
Like the old school, the kid that was scared of dogs needed a lesson, not that the dog denied to the girl that needed the service.
They missed the teachable moment, didn't they, in the school gym? That's what they call it. They missed the teachable moment.
Just because
they threw away the opportunity.
Not all teachers are great teachers.
No, we all know that.
Not all schools are great schools. And
no.
Apparently there's some of those people at that former school.
Well, I'm glad that they found it at this school that just fully, understood the picture. So the Fries sued the old school district under the Americans with Disabilities Act and other federal laws. They sought unspecified money damages for the emotional distress they say their daughter suffered before transferring to the new school. I'm distressed just reading it. Elena's mother said the suit is not about the money, but is meant to forge a path for other children with service animals so that they don't have to have what happened to my daughter happen to their child. And she says that is success for us if that happens. Now, they are represented by the ACLU, and the Fry family wants the Supreme Court to declare that when disabled children are prevented from having qualified service animals at school, they and their parents can go directly to federal court. Oh, there you go. But the school district, backed by the National School Boards Association, argues that to allow such suits could cost school districts millions of dollars. Well, I can see how you can avoid that. They note that 6 million disabled children are covered by the law that guarantees individualized special education for disabled children, and that the law requires parents to exhaust administrative appeals before going to court to challenge an education plan. What a nightmare. So far, the Fries have lost in the lower courts, as have parents like them in most parts of the country, but now their case is before the Supreme Court. Elena will be there with her dog Wonder. The Golden Doodle, after 7 years of hard mobility work, has retired to a pet's life. Elena's now 12 and in middle school, so this has gone on since she was 5.
Wow.
I bet they're exhausted. Oh my gosh, I bet they're exhausted. And the mum said he helped her bridge that gap. And Elena's mother observes working with him helped her to learn how to not need him as much. Isn't that incredible? Now he's just a pet. That's phenomenal.
That's good.
Yeah, so we'll try and I think it goes to court in summer. Oh, gosh, that's a while away. And they should have some kind of ruling, but I can't imagine the distress of that. And for your kids, and you just want to help your children do the best they can and not feel like an outsider, which they successfully did with the first school. So there you go. So we'll keep up on that. But yeah, service dogs, that's why I feel like we should really value animals even more, because they are the lifeline for a lot of people. And, sometimes people will say, oh, I don't know why you allow dogs on a patio or you allow a service dog in a store. And I go, God forbid you ever need one in your life in the future, because they're really, really important.
Well, they a lot of towns and municipalities, they just don't understand.
Or do they understand?
Well, I don't know. The health districts and the food service industry and all of that, they've got rules and laws in place, and so they usually conflict with people and pets. And pet, I'm calling service pets or service animals.
Yeah.
There's no understanding between health and well-being of
Well,
the human population and the pet population and where they interact.
Yeah, I think we've seen this time and time again where laws have been passed by people who have no business passing a law because they didn't consult any professionals, any experts, like the Montreal pitbull ban. They just decided, because there was I think it was a dog bite incident, that they were just going to ban pitbull-looking type dogs with big boxy heads and of a medium size. I mean, it was bizarre. I think it was a knee-jerk reaction, and they were going to pass this law. And I mean, what experts have you consulted on this? It's just ridiculous. But we find that in any laws, don't we? How did that get passed? You know, who did you consult with that? Well, no one. We've just decided upon that because we feel not good enough for me.
Sometimes a few bad apples slip in laws around the public's knowledge, so that
well, they get attached to a lot of bills, don't they?
It's a bit of a power trip.
And they get attached, yeah. Oh gosh, I could talk about animal laws here that I go, oh yeah, you didn't consult anybody on that. I can't believe we have that as a law. That's crazy. So, my last thing I want to talk about is I am putting together a big blog post, and it's going to be my holiday gift guide. And it's going to be anything related to animals. So it can be a product for pets, or it can be products for a pet owner. Or, you know, as long as it's themed with pets, that's what I'm putting together. I've been receiving in the mail all manner of fantastic products that I can't wait to share with everybody. It's going to launch, I might do it earlier than December 1st, actually. And maybe I'll launch it, I don't know, maybe before Thanksgiving. There's a lot to prepare. I've got a lot of photography to do, but I want to be able to bring to you some of the nicest pet products out there and human pet-related products. Oh, I want to tell you what they are, but I just can't.
The cutting edge.
Well, not cutting edge, but just fabulous, you know? I mean, just really...
From a standpoint of fashion or...
Well, or home decor, you know. I think we're looking... what we're doing now is, more than ever, is fully integrating our pets into our lives 100%. You know, so we want to buy pet beds that go with our home decor. We want a pet bed in every room.
But why would you buy pet beds whenever your pets just sleep on all of your furniture?
You just have to know that you have them there just in case.
They have furniture all over the house and human beds they sleep in. So I don't know. I still, all these years later, I still can't get my head around that we have like 15 dog beds in the house when they just furniture to dog beds.
We're saying that though. I mean, Galaxy, right now, Galaxy is into that bed. I have a pet bed outside, a really nice one. It's like a posturepedic pet bed, yeah. Since I put my British blanket on it, she is in love. My British flag blanket, she's in love with that bed right now. Outside. She would never lay on that bed ever outside. Since I put that lovely blanket on it, she loves it. Now, you know Thornton. She loves a nice clean pet bed, the three of them stacked on top of each other, the triple stack. And she loves it when you put a freshly tumbled dry blanket straight on top of it and it's warm. That's heaven to her. She is the supreme comfort dog, isn't she, Jim?
She is.
Now, Mr. Twix, he just slept on the floor forever because that's all he knew. From living out in the wild. But he has soon changed his ways, didn't he, Jim? He was always on the floor, and I go, all these beds, all this furniture, why does he never just, get comfy? Now, where is he now? He's taken himself to bed, and he's in our bed. And he's sprawled out.
On his back with his junk showing.
It's fantastic. Yeah, all his bits showing. Whereas this was a dog that would curl up like a little cashew nut, wouldn't he, Jim? I mean, just obviously to feel safer. But now, oh no, we're on the back and legs up in the air, and it's very happy to see. And strangely enough, Jim, I don't know if you saw this yesterday. I posted on my Facebook page about the terrible sport of greyhound racing. It's not a sport. Seriously, it's a blood sport. It's horrible. But it's a blood sport because let me tell you this: the cruelty and the death that happens in greyhound racing is unbelievably bad. And you won't obviously see, it's not obviously something you see by watching a greyhound race, but what happened behind the scenes is unreal. With this video I posted, they still keep this dog running, and it's called Gas Pedal, which is this one dog called Gas Pedal, and he limped over the finish line because guess what? He had a broken leg. They let him run, and that back leg was flailing around.
They knew it was broken.
Oh yeah, it's all about money, Jim. And then they could have helped him, but they said they chose to kill him because he was worthless to them at that point. And that's exactly how they are with horse racing and greyhound racing. It's really disgusting. But this one guy, he posted, his name's Jack. He said, we rescued, after I posted this article, we rescued a greyhound many, many years ago, and she was the sweetest, most loving friend I ever had. She was terrified of thunder, and she hated crowds. That makes sense, doesn't it? And she had been through hell. We were lucky she trusted us enough to finally sleep with her eyes closed. Greyhound racing is an abomination, and I'm going to do a lot on greyhound racing, and I'm going to be sharing as much as I possibly can to get, raising an awareness for that. And we'll see if we can get an expert on here or a greyhound rescue that rescues racing greyhounds, and we'll expose that, because it's a terrible sport. Again, profit off animals at the risk of their lives, and it's not acceptable. But isn't that a lovely thing for him to say? Finally, she slept with her eyes closed. And we experienced that with Mr. Twix, didn't we? He just didn't sleep, and he paced around, and I knew he wasn't relaxed, and he was always ready to go, which I understand if you're living in
watching his back.
Yeah, all the time. And I thought, this poor dog has got to be so exhausted, but he probably doesn't know how exhausted he is until he gets a chance to decompress. And it took about a year, and now he's totally fine. Now he's totally decompressed. But thank you to anyone that rescues these dogs from greyhound racing, because they are definitely coming in traumatized and injured, and I thank you for saving them. I thought that was a lovely, lovely comment. Well, Jim,
we've come to that time again.
We have,
and
Jim.
It comes up very quickly
it
sometimes.
Sure does, Jim. It really does. But if
you're
you've
a very good talker.
I
you talk more than I do.
I know you're much more of a quiet person.
Yes.
But when you do say something, Jim,
I save gems.
You do. He had a gem before we closed. I have a little gem. We were in the car. We were stopped at the red light. I said, "Oh, quick, let's have a selfie." We were going to a party, a fundraiser, and he just looked at me and he went, "You're aging me." As in, like, stop wearing me out. So they're the gems that Jim comes up with. But I love this format, and I love that through this show I get to share as much information as possible so that you can be a great pet parent and our pets can live very, very happy, healthy lives. So remember, you can always help an animal in need. Either rescue, adopt, donate, volunteer, or share their information. And rescue your next family member. Replace the word shop with adopt, and be kind to all animals. Thank you, Jim.
I'm welcome.
For running the show.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you to my three little co-hosts, Galaxy Thornton and Mr. Twix. And take a moment, come and find us on Facebook. Definitely find me on Twitter. That's where lots of interaction goes on over there. Post your pictures of your pets. Tell me their names. I want to get to know them. And if you can make a donation to a rescue today, just know that you will help an animal. And today, you've been listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio, where it is all about pets, people, and pop culture. I'm your host, Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs. And always kiss your pets good morning and good night. And I'll see you next time.
You've been listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.